finally caught. Next.
March 6th, 2015. It's another perfect evening in Clearwater Bay, in picturesque Central Florida. Anthony Tomaselli's doting daughter, Mary Beth, has returned from watching the Clearwater sunset with her ailing dad, Anthony Tomaselli.
Lung cancer, heart troubles, and dementia are all taking their toll. And at 85, the sun is going down on Anthony's long life.
Every night, Anthony reads his prayer cards, takes his pills, and washes it down with vodka Diet Coke while watching TV.
You should mix alcohol and medication, but it's hardly uncommon. And Anthony found he slept better when he chased his temazepam sleeping pills down with a stiff drink.
The family knew it wasn't recommended, but they were willing to do anything to keep their father comfortable.
Mary Beth and her sister Linda Roberts take turns staying at Anthony's home, where they look after their old dad. Mary Beth's daughter Lauren even looks after her ailing grandfather from time to time. But on this specific night, all three happen to be here to keep him company. It's the last night all of them will share together.
Anthony is quite ill, so the death wasn't unexpected given his advanced stage.
Paramedics arrived to the house, but he's already gone.
But the real surprise for the Tomaselli family comes years later, when it's revealed this is no ordinary death. From whispers between the sheets, a cold-blooded killer is finally caught. Ethel and Pinellas.
Is a great place for retire and an elevated sun area.
Ended in 2004, and they quickly fall for each other. She becomes like a second mother to the kids and ends up being a central figure in their lives.
Anthony's youngest child, Charles, moves to a small community northwest of Palm Harbor, while Linda and Mary Beth find work close to the family home within reach of their loving father.
Linda Roberts was a certified medical assistant, and she was 58 years old at the time.
In early 2001, Linda gets a job as a medical assistant for a respected physician named Dr. Stephen Mazur.
She was a nurse assistant and a secretary.
So, as a nurse assistant,
she almost take histories.
Suffers from
Dr. Mazur knows Linda suffers from hypochondria, but makes sure not to overprescribe.
Dr. Mazur is aware of Linda's constant health issues over the years, but he knows very little about her struggling personal life. Linda meets Ted Roberts online. They start dating and quickly rush into marriage.
she lets back in.
Over the years, Ted continues to come in and out of her life, making it difficult for her and her close-knit family. Linda often worries for her older sister and constantly attempts to help her out when she can.
Worse years, so Linda gets her
educated woman that went to school, but life got in the her goal. Married to a the family believed he was beneath Mary Beth and pulled her down.
You know, Mary Beth married to, I can't remember his name, but this guy was really like a hillbilly.
Right.
I don't know where, like, no common sense whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah, I think he worked in heavy equipment, driving heavy equipment. And they've been divorced for probably 20, 25 years.
Okay.
When they divorced in the early 2000s, it was more of a relief for the family than anything else.
Mary Beth is left to raise her two daughters on her own. Over the years, Lauren, her eldest, ends up being a handful. Lauren suffers from mental health issues.
Lauren has a difficult relationship with her mother, especially when she hangs around with the wrong crowd. No matter how much the two of them argue, they still love each other unconditionally.
Dr. Mazur also admits Mary Beth is an impressive individual and a valued practice. To the point where it's unmanageable to work.
Dr. Mazur initially assumes it's Linda's hypochondria, but when examined, it proves she's developed a serious eye condition.
In Linda's case, it was
Linda's forced to take a medical treatment that suggests
Dr. Mazur became more of a saint in Sully family, as he did for several years. Concerns grow when he notices things from the clinic going missing.
More and more I noticed money was missing, things weren't being done right.
Okay.
And here we go. And I noticed that even with mine.
You say things are missing, are we talking narcotics, are we talking about cash, or just cash? Okay.
And it got worse with Lauren.
After bringing up the discrepancies, Dr. Mazur struggles with Lauren's growing attitude towards him and is forced to let her go.
Lauren's anger towards Dr. Mazur firing her becomes apparent.
I fired Lauren, or didn't hire her back to work at Target. She was really mad about that, called a lot of my patients in to borrow money.
2 weeks after Lauren is let go, Dr. Mazur's house is robbed and ransacked. The intruder is finally apprehended, and it turns out to be Lauren's boyfriend.
Dr. Mazur's first assumption is that Lauren's behind it all, since she was just fired and trying to get money through the clinic's patients.
The police question Lauren's boyfriend about being involved in the robbery, but he won't implicate her in any way. Lauren's never charged.
The detective told me it was through Lauren, but they didn't have enough to.
That could happen.
And that was more aggravating than anything.
Of course it would be, yeah.
Because they broke every door and then break in every room, you know.
They did more damage than they needed to do to steal, so that tells you what's going on, because mainly nobody's going to do it if they're stealing.
Dr. Mazur's professional relationship with Mary Beth is tarnished as he believes her daughter's behind the robbery.
So that was my experience with Lauren. Lauren was a terrible experience. She kept, even after that, calling my patients for money. But I spoke to my patients and they stopped. So they thought she was just the greatest thing that ever lived.
With Linda and Lauren both gone, Mary Beth is able to salvage her work relationship with Dr. Mazur. But for Mary Beth, she had more pressing issues to worry about outside of work. Anthony Tomaselli is facing his own health issues around the same time as Linda's departure from the clinic.
Anthony's lung cancer has progressed over time. After surgery removing a third of his left lung, his heart issues and growing dementia are additional factors bringing him closer to the end.
Life takes unexpected turns, and Anthony's wife Shirley becomes ill.
It's difficult for the family because Shirley is Anthony's caregiver after his initial diagnosis. But now she's the patient. Soon after, she's brought into the hospital. Shirley passes away February 22nd, 2015.
Anthony's caregiver now gone. It's up to his daughters and granddaughter to put aside their personal issues and take Shirley's place. Linda and Mary Beth quickly realize how difficult it is to care for Anthony while continuing to live their own lives. When the sisters discover Anthony's insurance policy covers the cost of assisted living, Mary Beth urges him to move into a home.
Mary Beth pressures her father to accept a move, but he's against leaving the comfort of his own home.
Between 41-year-old Lauren, 61-year-old Linda, and 63-year-old Mary Beth, all three women are frustrated with the situation they're put in. But when Anthony unexpectedly dies 11 days after Shirley's death, the women are shocked at their loss. Anthony's body is cremated, and the family has a small gathering to celebrate his life.
Anthony's estate and annuities are evenly dispersed between the three siblings. After the house sells, they each collect $80,000.
They receive large amounts of estate money, but it never drives a wedge between their relationships.
Nearly 4 years go by since Anthony's death, and the sisters have moved on with their lives. Linda returns to her abusive ex, who now lives in North Carolina. Mary Beth remains in Palm Harbor and tries online dating. She comes across an intriguing profile and starts up a conversation with a stranger. Tony Marsh is a 53-year-old cover band musician with little going for himself, except to coast around and perform at the Tampa area dive bars.
Marsh attempts to live the rocker lifestyle with countless women around him, but he hides the fact he's married.
Marsh also has several injunctions from other women against him.
Unaware of Marsh's shady background, Mary Beth sets her sights on the younger man.
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on giving you fast, reliable, nationwide coverage at up to half the cost of the leading carriers. But don't worry, we've got more than that going for us. Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, we probably got it. We have the top smartphones from all the major companies. If it's state-of-the-art cameras you want, we got them. If you want a smartphone with lots of bells and whistles but won't break the bank, we've got that too. We even have a flip phone, like the Iris Flip. We even have watches. I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have one of these amazing stores in my town yet? Can I get these phones sent to me?
Yes, you can.
Is it easy?
Easy as pie.
New customers save $50 when you sign up today. Call 800-918-5494. Find us in Target or visit consumercellular.com to switch today.
She knows what she's talking about. Pick up the phone.
Stay tuned to get this free 4-piece square pan set. You can fry in it, steam in it, and its enormous capacity is enough for the whole family. Also get this free 6-piece knife set with stainless steel precision blades and non-stick coating. It includes every knife you'll ever need. Together, they're a $100 value. Stay tuned to get them free. Does your cookware stick and scratch? These particles in your food can be toxic. Now there's a new generation of cookware. Cookware that will bring style and functionality to your kitchen like never before. Introducing Gotham Steel Cream. Cookware meticulously engineered with super strong titanium and ultra slick ceramic. This cookware excels beyond others with 2 times better non-stick release. Now you can cook healthier without butter, fat, or oil. It's like cooking on a cushion of air. No sticking, and it all wipes clean with ease. No more hot spots or burning. Everything is cooked with precision, heated evenly throughout, even in the oven up to 500 degrees. It's every pan you'll ever need in the kitchen with 2 times better non-stick release. All dishwasher safe. Similar sets can cost up to $500, but get the Gotham Steel Cream 10-piece set for just 5 easy payments of $49.99, and we'll even ship them to you free. Order right now and we'll drop one payment. That's just 4 easy payments of $49.99. But wait, you'll also get the free extra large square pad set. It's the perfect blend of style and functionality. Plus, the large square shape fits an entire family meal. Also, get this free knife set. Slice, dice, and chop with precision using our premium coated stainless steel blades designed for effortless cutting and long-lasting sharpness. You'll get this huge 20-piece set with free shipping. Response has been overwhelming, so don't miss out. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-481-1245 or go online to GothamCreamSet.com. That's 1-800-481-1245 or go to GothamCreamSet.com.
I've lost 96 pounds with Weight Watchers Clinic. Knowing that I'm never doing it alone has been key. I have a clinician I can bounce questions off of, health coordinator, dietitian, all in one central place. It doesn't get any better.
What you doing? Just buying a car on Carvana. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes. Say what? I can customize my terms. Say what? Yep. My car's getting delivered in a couple days.
Delivered?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you live?
Finance and buy your car with Carvana today.
Anthony Tomaselli retires in the beautiful community of Palm Harbor in Pinellas County, Florida. At 88, Anthony struggles with cancer, heart disease, and dementia. The daughters care for their ailing father after his common-law wife dies.
Anthony passes away March 6th, 2018, and is labeled natural causes.
Nearly 4 years pass, and Linda's back with her abusive husband in North Carolina, while Mary Beth is on the dating scene and meets a philandering guitarist. Marsh is a 53-year-old self-proclaimed bad boy who's also married with kids.
Tony Marsh was really involved in the dive bar scene within Florida, so he was out quite a bit. He was involved with many, many women at the time, so he was a different kind of character, so that really played into things.
He admits to Mary Beth he's not perfect and has done bad things in his life, but this only enhances her interest in his edgy background.
The relationship focuses around sexual encounters, but things change when Mary Beth's sister, Linda, unexpectedly returns. Linda's attempt to save her marriage ends abruptly when the abuse persists. She returns home from North Carolina to the comfort of her sister. The sisters decide to live under the same roof, and it doesn't take long for them to clash.
Linda and Mary Beth have a difficult relationship. They love each other, but always struggle to get along due to very different personalities. And if you add in a budding love triangle, well, the tension between the sisters quickly boils over.
Mary Beth takes Linda out for a night on the town, where she decides to introduce her to Marsh.
Mary Beth's always in Linda's shadow, so when the opportunity presents itself to gloat about the new man in her life, well, she doesn't hesitate.
Mary Beth's jealousy is triggered as Marsh directs his charm towards Linda. Her introduction backfires, and Linda steals the spotlight.
No matter how hard she tries, Mary Beth can never compete with Linda being the center of attention. Noticing the two flirting in front of her, Mary Beth comes to her senses and accepts Marsh is merely a womanizer and nothing else.
After 4 quick sexual encounters, Mary Beth and Marsh end their relationship, but he doesn't stray too far.
After Linda's introduced to Marsh, the relationship between the sisters change.
Linda wants what she can't have, so she convinces Mary Beth to give her Marsh's phone number.
Linda doesn't listen to Mary Beth's warning about Marsh and his wandering eye. She asks him out, and the two start a relationship. With Mary Beth forced to live amongst the couple, tensions rise in Mary Beth's house as Linda and Marsh are constantly together.
Mary Beth is paying the bills while Linda is sleeping with her ex under the same roof. Nearly 6 months pass, and Linda's infatuation makes her too clueless to see Marsh is only in it for sex. Linda overwhelms Marsh with constant discussion about their relationship, forcing him to back off.
After the relationship ends, Linda's infatuation borders on harassment, forcing Marsh to block her on all social media.
Marsh to explain her actions are due to mental illness and past experiences. She is able to convince Marsh to meet one more time in order to let her explain her actions. Linda opens up about her struggling mental health and why she's been acting so erratic. But Marsh brushes off the explanation as another attempt to keep him around. Linda finally admits why her behavior is off, but doesn't think about the aftermath it will bring.
Well, what are you doing? Planning on doing something to me?
What do you mean?
Because now you have me afraid that I knew I shouldn't have told you.
No,
And my sister has asked me, did you tell Anthony about that? I said, no, I have not.
Why is she scared?
Because she doesn't trust you.
Well, who did she tell?
Nobody. And I've told nobody.
In this whole lifetime, nobody knows, just you and her, and now me.
Marsh is shocked at the unexpected twist Linda has just brought to his attention. He feels the need to voice his opinion on the ghastly revelation.
You actually might go to hell. You killed a person, and it was your father.
Summer's burning heat is here, and for many animals, help can't come fast enough.
These animals are suffering from rays of sun that they can't escape. They don't have access to any shelter or shade. They're licking the bottom of bowls that have been dry for days. These animals are dying from heat.
For many animals across the country right now, the suffering is excruciating and time is running out.
There are animals wasting away under the hot sun, no access to shelter, no access to fresh water. They are suffering.
Will you help an animal who's suffering in the burning sun right now? Visit this website, call or scan the code on your screen. Your gift of just $19 a month can be the difference between life and death for an animal this summer.
There are situations in which an animal will lay down and they will give up, because that honestly is their better escape from this reality.
And that's why we can't give up, and why we need you right this minute, before it's too late. 63 cents a day will provide shelter, water, and loving care to an animal who may not survive much longer. Say yes to pulling an animal out of the burning heat today. Join with your monthly gift in the next 5 minutes, and we'll send you this welcome kit and one-of-a-kind t-shirt.
We know it's our responsibility to give them that shelter as soon as possible, to get them that water, to give them that chance to survive.
So please don't wait another second. Help rescue an animal today. Go online, call, or scan right now.
Have you ever considered getting a walk-in tub? Well, look no further. Safe Step's best offer just got better. Now, when you purchase your brand new Safe Step walk-in tub, you'll receive a free shower package. Yes, a free shower package. And if you call today, you'll also receive 15% off your entire order. Now you can enjoy the best of both worlds, the therapeutic benefits of a warm, soothing bath that can help increase mobility, relieve pain, boost energy, and even improve sleep. Or, if you prefer, you can take a refreshing shower all in one product. Call now to receive a free shower package plus 15% off your brand new Safe Step walk-in tub.
Call now, 1-800-346-6061. There's never been a better time. That's 1-800-346-6061.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
This Labor Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our starter price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Coming up next on True Crime Network.
Anthony Tomaselli's life came to an abrupt end early March 6, 2015. 4 years go by, and his two daughters, Mary Beth and Linda, are now living under the same roof. Their family bond is tested when Linda dates Mary Beth's past lover, Tony Marsh. Linda's obsession with Marsh ends the relationship, but in an attempt to get him back, Linda admits her erratic behavior is due to being a part of her father's murder.
Now, initially, Marsh sees this as a blatant lie to draw remorse from him, but it quickly becomes apparent she's serious.
Couldn't breathe.
Right, but she was not as
He'd be going through torture and in the hospital, and they were going to do surgery and cut him open, and he was going to die probably within weeks.
Linda's attempt to justify her actions falls on deaf ears. Now, the more Marsh is disgusted at what he hears, the more she feels the need to explain.
The idea of killing their father comes up randomly one night after Anthony has fallen asleep. The sisters discuss the difficulties of caring for their father as they watch him deteriorate in front of their eyes.
Mary Beth's not a person that would consider murder, but fed up with the situation, she agrees it needs to be done.
Linda's past experience in the medical field becomes crucial, as it allows the sisters to concoct a humane way to end Anthony's life and not get caught.
The only obstacle that could foil their plan is Mary Beth's daughter, Lauren.
The sisters agree Lauren can't be implicated, but when she mentions a persisting headache, Mary Beth sees this as an opportunity.
Mary Beth gives her daughter a strong sedative, but plays it off as Tylenol.
She was given a sleeping pill in order to sleep through everything that had happened that night.
With Lauren in a deep sleep, the sisters follow through with their deadly plan.
Not to raise suspicion, Linda uses her own Halcion sleep medication.
Halcion is a benzodiazepine often used to treat insomnia. Daily average use for an adult is between 0.25 milligrams and 0.50 milligrams, which is equivalent to a maximum recommendation of 2 tablets per day.
Linda crushes up 15 pills to make sure it's strong enough to kill. She gives Mary Beth the deadly concoction of powdered Halcion to pour into Anthony's nightly cocktail. But Mary Beth pours an extremely large vodka Diet Coke, and Linda suggests the mixture won't be strong enough.
Linda is annoyed at Mary Beth, and she lets her know it's an issue.
Halcyon, I think it was Halcyon that he was taking. So very strong. Would have been plenty enough to just let him go to sleep and sleep peacefully. So she makes a drink this big. Well, he can't drink a drink this big. So I looked at her and I said,
The sisters have no backup plans, so they use the mixture in hopes it's strong enough.
Anthony doesn't suspect a thing. He drinks his vodka Diet Coke like every other night.
30 minutes go by and the drugs take effect, but instead of falling asleep, Anthony's reaction takes an unexpected turn.
he takes about 4 swigs of it, 5, and in about 15 minutes, his hands started shaking. He was dropping his prayers that he was saying, his holy cards. But I knew he didn't have enough in his system.
Enough what?
Of the Halcyon.
Eventually, the shaking subsides and Anthony's eyes start to close.
Anthony hasn't moved in nearly 30 minutes. The sisters' plan seems to have worked. Or so they thought.
So anyway, he went to sleep.
Yeah.
We thought he was
Dead?
dead.
And? He
He
was?
opened his eyes.
He opened his
And he
eyes.
looked at us.
He looked at you.
And I said, now what do we do?
You asked her now what to do?
I said, what do we do now?
So then
I don't know if I can even tell the rest of it.
The sisters begin to panic, and in an act of desperation, they put a new plan in motion.
Linda grabs a nearby throw pillow, rushes up to Anthony, and covers his face to smother him to death. She gets Mary Beth to hold his arms down when he tries to remove the pillow.
Anthony still has some fight in him, regardless of his health and age. And he's able to pry the pillow off and push his daughters back.
Unable to smother their father, Linda and Mary Beth regroup and attempt murder again.
Who pinched his nose?
She did.
And did you hold his mouth?
I put a washcloth in him.
You put a washcloth in his mouth? How can you live with yourself?
It's hard, Anthony. It's very hard.
But he was alive and you ended his life.
I know I did.
The interruption of oxygen due to asphyxia, Anna's age and health, Mr. Thomas Helly's death could be viewed as natural suffocation.
Linda assumes her father is dead, but when she checks his vitals, she hears an unexpected sound.
The sisters get the scare of a lifetime when they hear his heart still beating.
Mr. Thomas Helly had a pacemaker inserted several years ago. Regardless of him being dead, the batteries keep the pacemaker working.
Once they piece it together and realize it's a pacemaker, they take a moment to let the scene sink in.
Even though they've gone through with their plans, Linda knows they need to wait until morning to report the death.
Leaving their father's corpse on the sofa, the sisters go to bed for several hours. At 5:50 a.m. on March 6th, Mary Beth wakes up and rushes into the family room. At the sight of Anthony's body, she pretends to frantically break down. Moments later, Linda rushes in and proceeds to give her dead father chest compressions.
You tried to give your father CPR, and that's the one. See, that's a lie.
I knew he was dead.
You knew he was dead, but you said that the paramedics.
I knew he was dead
Because you killed him. But you did it for more of a show. When the paramedics came in, you were doing chest compressions. Admit it.
Admit it. I admit it.
The commotion wakes Lauren, and she rushes downstairs to see her mother and aunt in a state of panic. She's told to call 911.
Mary Beth admits to police later on that the emotional toll of the situation made both sisters break down in their own unique ways. Although they had killed him, their remorse took over.
Linda's detailed account of the murder is constantly interrupted by Marcia's harsh opinions and her inability to admit to murder.
But you killed your father. Why can't you use the word kill? He was alive, and then at your hand, he was dead. Say, I killed my father. Say it.
No, I'm not going to say it because I don't feel that's what we did to him.
Linda can't admit she's a murderer even when she explains the crime out loud. This shows her sick and twisted mind at work.
But I don't look at it as killing him.
Why not? He was breathing, and then by your hand, he stopped breathing. With a rag.
Marsh is relentless in his attempts to get Linda to admit what she's done, and he uses the law to try and break her down.
And I don't know anything about the law, but the statute of limitations I was heard was 7 years.
Tell me, she was involved in it. She did it.
I was heard the statute of limitations for crimes is 7 years, but I think murder is, there's no statute.
So you didn't call the police on it?
I didn't say that.
When the law doesn't work, Marsh uses Linda's faith against her.
Killing your own father. There might not be anything worse. This person sired you. You wouldn't be here.
I do what I do. What am I going to do?
What are you going to do? You're going to suffer?
I ask for forgiveness every day.
It doesn't work that way.
Marsh simply won't give up.
You'll definitely go to prison, and then you'll go to hell.
Marsh questions her for nearly half an hour, until Linda finally caves under the pressure.
Isn't it called murder when you end a person's life? It's a homicide. You know when a cop shoots a suspect, it's a homicide and he gets suspended, and they investigate a homicide. It's a homicide. Now they find out if it's justified. Was what you did called homicide?
Yes, but I feel it was justice.
Stop it. Was it homicide?
Yes.
Even though Linda admits to murder, she's still certain they won't get caught. With the body cremated and the minor investigation over at the scene of the crime, there's no evidence or proof they did anything.
Marsh asks Linda to give herself up to police, but she's not willing.
Even though it's ruining her mental health, she's willing to take the truth to the grave.
If it wasn't for Linda's attempt to keep Marsh in her life, no one would have found out what the sisters did.
Marsh understands the secret is too dark to keep to himself, but if he told anyone, they probably wouldn't believe it. And that's why he makes sure to have proof.
Other foundations I've tried that are so thick and cakey. The more makeup you put on, the older you look. The coolest thing about the look of Airbrush is that it's never cakey.
Wow, this coverage is absolutely beautiful. It's just full coverage. It's amazing. Look how beautiful my skin looks.
Wow.
It's the perfect color match.
They let you try it before you buy it. They sent me everything to try. You're gonna love it. I just went to spraymakeup.com.
I took the quiz at spraymakeup.com and they sent me my shade.
I'm absolutely loving this little spray.
This really does look like my skin.
The Luminous Airbrush Spray Makeup. It is the look of airbrush without the actual airbrush.
It covers dark spots, blemishes, and gives a flawless, younger-looking complexion instantly.
It is extremely hydrating because of the hyaluronic acid.
It's got my skincare and it's got my makeup in there. It's all in one.
It is a game changer. And it's cruelty-free. It's never tested on animals.
I could never get this color in the store. Did you see that? This just looks like my skin.
I just went to spraymakeup.com.
I took the airbrush makeup quiz. It was so easy.
Go to their website, spraymakeup.com. Take the quiz. They sent me the perfect shade.
They even have this unreal color matching tool. This is amazing. It's my perfect match. And if for some reason the color's not right, they will send you replacement shades for free.
It's like, this was made for me. Before I had all this redness, it's all gone. You can't even see it. The coverage is absolutely amazing. This is different.
And when you go to spraymakeup.com right now, you get a full size of everything to try first.
They let you try it before you buy it.
And if you return it, you pay nothing. They actually give you free returns and free exchanges.
This spray makeup is like no other foundation I've ever tried.
They send you a full size of everything and they let you try it before you buy it. Go to spraymakeup.com. Take the quiz. You're going to love it.
Scan the code or go to spraymakeup.com now to take the quiz for your perfect shade match. That's spraymakeup.com.
As the original host of Wheel of Fortune, I was blessed to be part of building one of the greatest game shows in history. During that time, we handed out millions of dollars to thousands of contestants. I thought, what if we paid the contestants their winnings in gold instead of cash and prizes? Back in 1976, we had a wonderful contestant named Lee, whose 3-day winnings were valued at $12,850. And you know what? That was a pretty big haul back in 1976. So I wonder, what would have happened if Lee had put $12,850 in cash and then put $12,850 in gold in a safe, just sitting there side by side from 1976 until now? We all know that $12,850 in cash would still be sitting there, but it would be worth a whole lot less than it was in 1976. But that $12,850 in gold, safely stored away, it's worth $135,000 as of the taping of this commercial. Now that's more than 10 times the original amount.
And since the taping of this commercial, the price of gold has increased substantially to more than 15 times the original amount.
And that's why I've been putting my money in precious metals for years, and I don't see any reason to stop now.
If you would like to learn more about why physical gold should be an important part of your portfolio, simply call to receive the complete guide to buying gold, including facts you should know about making any gold, silver, platinum, or palladium purchase. Call now to also receive our new 2024 Global Gold Forecast Special Report. Inside, you'll find the real issues on why you need to start owning gold today. You can also receive a copy of our new report, Protection in the Risk Zone.
With 2 decades of business, over $1 billion in transactions, and more than 500,000 clients worldwide, U.S. Money Reserve is one of the most dependable gold distributors in America.
When the sisters get involved in a love triangle with shady guitarist Tony Marsh, Linda reveals she and Mary Beth killed their father in an attempt to put him out of his misery. Little does Linda know, Tony Marsh has been recording the entire admission of murder on his cell phone.
Marsh doesn't want to be involved, but he fully grasps the moral obligation placed on him to do the right thing. Anthony makes the decision to bring the recording to the authorities as it proves a capital crime has been committed.
On the morning of February 13th, 2019, Anthony Marsh dutifully heads to Largo, Florida, and walks into the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office with this shocking evidence in hand.
The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office eagerly awaits Marsh's arrival, as it's uncommon to be told there's a murder confession recording on someone's phone.
Detective Nelson De Leon and his partner Michael Bailey start by questioning Marsh's background and his relationship with the women.
Marsh explains the relationship with Mary Beth is predominantly sexual, but with Linda, it's dragged out and is now turning into an obsession of hers.
It's one thing to have issues arrive with love triangles, but the fact that two women were sisters added another element to this story. Detective Delian isn't being aggressive with his questions, as Marsh is open from the very start, but he needs to make sure the witness is telling the truth. So the more questions they ask Marsh, the more credible the story becomes.
The detectives view Marsh as a credible witness due to his straightforward responses. Marsh is about to give the detailed information of Linda admitting to murder, but then she texts him. The detectives tell him not to reply and to focus on remembering the details.
The last thing you want is to have someone get sidetracked in an interview. Marsh puts his phone down and relays the events that Linda told him about.
Nearly an hour and a half of questioning. The detectives feel they have enough information to reopen the file on Anthony Tomaselli's death. The detectives download the 30-minute video confession Marsh brought in on his phone. They then discuss the possibility of him working with police to get more information on the women.
Video evidence can be viewed as both good and bad for a case. If used carefully, it can hold up in court. Carelessly managed, it can ruin the prosecution's arguments. Because Marsh only has one video taken without police involvement, they would need him to work alongside them to get more.
When Tony went to the police, they had said that they needed to get more information, they needed more evidence in order to bring this through to fruition.
Marsh agrees to gather intel for the detectives, and they place a wire on him to record the audio of his conversations with the sisters.
Marsh is given information on how to approach the next recording. He's warned not to push the murder in any way, as it could easily give himself up to the women.
Still in the interrogation room, Linda texts Marsh again to let him know his window of opportunity to see her is closing. The detectives understand the importance of him going over to see her, and they quickly get him out of the room.
Over the following weeks, Marsh does what the detectives ask and question Linda in a way that wouldn't raise suspicion. Although not overly excited to associate with the murderer, the bigger question remains: how will Mary Beth take with him showing up to talk to her? Mary Beth isn't a fan of Marsh since he slept with her and started a relationship with her sister Linda.
Marsh is certain Mary Beth doesn't want to talk to him, so he goes against the detective's suggestions. Right to the point, he tells Mary Beth to tell the truth as he has information on her.
Initially, Mary Beth denies everything, but when Marsh doesn't let up, she becomes suspicious of her sister having said something. One can only imagine the fury Mary Beth has towards her sister at this point. First, Linda takes her man, and now he's forcing her to admit to murder.
Mary Beth isn't as forthcoming as Linda, but Marsh is able to get her to admit to some involvement before he leaves. With the mounting evidence, they decide to bring in the sisters for questioning. On the morning of March 5th, 2019, nearly 4 years to the day of Anthony Tomaselli's death, sisters Mary Beth and Linda are brought in separately for questioning. But the different accounts they give on the night in question will make it difficult to prove who the true mastermind really is behind it all.
This is the story of the one who believes being prepared is not just a way of life, it's how he helps everyone stay safe. He sweats the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. For the one, being an unsung hero in a building full of everyday heroes is just how he likes it. The industrial-grade products you need delivered fast. Call, click Grainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you live in rural America and want better high-speed internet at home, say hello to the new HughesNet.
Hi!
Now you can do it all. Connect, stream, and play, wherever you live.
Now you can shop till you drop, because your internet won't.
Now I can video conference with confidence.
Yes! The new HughesNet is Jupiter-powered, with unlimited data and faster speeds than ever before.
Now I can stream up anything I can dream up.
That's right.
And HughesNet Fusion plans combine satellite and wireless technologies for a faster, more responsive internet experience.
How? There's no share in my game.
Oh, game on.
This is satellite internet reinvented.
Nice.
Call now and get free professional installation and save $25 a month for 12 months.
This changes everything.
Yes, it does.
Now it's your chance to get the new HughesNet. Call 1-800-617-7624.
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on giving you fast, reliable nationwide coverage at up to half the cost of the leading carriers. But don't worry,
We've got more than that going for us. Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, we probably got it. We have the top smartphones from all the major companies. If it's state-of-the-art cameras you want, we got them. If you want a smartphone with lots of bells and whistles but won't break the bank, we've got that too. We even have a flip phone, like the Iris Flip. We even have watches. I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have one of these amazing stores in my town yet? Can I get these phones sent to me?
Yes, you can.
Is it easy?
Easy as pie.
New customers save $50 when you sign up today. Call 800-918-5494. Find us in Target or visit consumercellular.com to switch today.
She knows what she's talking about. Pick up the phone.
You know what I love about Quick Hit Slots? It's the mobile slots game that gives you those authentic Vegas thrills. And it's free to play. You just can't beat it. That moment just before the big win. Quick Hit Slots has all the games you know and love. And best of all, the jackpots. Find out why millions are playing it. Download Quick Hit Slots for free and get a 6 million coin bonus. Make every day a winning day.
Real cases, secret murder, chilling details.
The whole world started to glow.
And the science that cracks them wide open.
Let's cement our case.
Uncover the truth with Forensic Files. Weekdays from 7 to 10 a.m. and Sundays at 1. Only on True Crime Network.
Nearly 4 years after her father dies, Linda Roberts admits to Marsh that she and her sister Mary Beth killed him. Linda is unaware Marsh recorded the confession on his cell phone. He takes the footage to Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, where Detective De Leon and Bailey ask him to gather more footage while they review the case. Once the detectives feel they have enough evidence, they bring in the sisters for questioning. Detective De Leon immediately senses Mary Beth's angst and decides the best approach is to be honest and upfront with her.
I'm not here to get my at you. I'm just talking to you. Okay, I like honesty. Okay, and I know you're the type of person that is the same way. I see it.
So there's no good cop, bad cop because there's no need. Instead of a hard interrogation, De Leon starts by showing compassion and empathy.
People make mistakes. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. We're not perfect.
Mary Beth leads with her father's illness, but the topic quickly shifts to her being unable to watch him suffer.
I couldn't see my father at 88 going through this surgery. I didn't think he was going to make it to this surgery. I couldn't handle watching my father suffer.
She tries to get the detectives to understand her point of view. Then she unleashes the horrific truth.
The way we felt he was suffering, the way we felt he was suffering, that we should perhaps put him out of his suffering.
She admits to premeditated murder.
A premeditated murder is viewed as one of the most serious forms of homicide and usually drives a death sentence in court.
According to Mary Beth, Linda concocts the idea of using medication to kill their father, and she agrees to the plan.
Unaware of what she's getting herself into, Mary Beth meticulously details the night in question.
The portion of the drink opposed to the medication
ratio. Okay.
didn't work. It affected him, but it didn't pass away. She said, let's put a pillow over Dad's face. The next thing we'll have to do is we have to get a washcloth, put in his mouth, and we're going to have to hold his nose. We had to finish what we had started.
Mary Beth details the horrific murder with little emotion. The botched attempt, the pillow to the face, the washcloth down the throat.
The odd thing is, Mary Beth struggled to accept she was a murderer, just like Linda struggled with it in front of Marsh. Now, they thought they were putting him out of his misery.
What about now?
What do you think now?
I think I did the right thing. I still don't think I could live with myself watching my father suffer like he was doing.
Although Mary Beth admits to murdering her father, her explanation of euthanizing him as a sort of mercy killing could be a mitigating factor to lessen her sentence. But in the end, Mary Beth agrees with Detective DeLeon and admits to the murder.
Unfortunately, I am going to be placing you under arrest.
Right.
Yes,
It's okay. We're not worried about just relax.
No,
Just be hanging out.
Just hanging out.
With Mary Beth in custody, the Pinellas County detectives can now turn their attention on Linda. Unaware, the detectives have the recording of Linda admitting to murder and Mary Beth's admission of guilt. Linda's confidence is apparent.
The detectives explain the need for honesty, but after reading her rights, she immediately spins a story of lies.
The sisters' different personality types are apparent during the interrogation. Mary Beth was open and trustworthy in her answers, while Linda lacks empathy and warmth.
After several chances to come clean, Detective DeLeon is fed up with Linda's lies and advises her he doesn't believe anything she's saying.
DeLeon goes so far to admit to Linda he knows she's lying because he already knows the answers to the questions being asked.
DeLeon knows the truth, so when Linda plays dumb, the cracks quickly show.
Linda knows she's in trouble, so when pressure starts to mount, it's obvious she's about to pivot and put blame on the whistleblower.
You have to tell me who told you something different happened that night. Who told you something different happened? There has to be someone who told you something.
Okay, the conversation that you had with Mr. Marsh,
Yes.
we were listening to that conversation.
Linda attempts to downplay Marsh's credibility, but with the evidence he brought, well, they know where the truth lies.
Anthony Marsh.
Then why is he not trustworthy?
Well, you know from his criminal background, you see that he's been in a lot of trouble.
Detective Bailey has enough and finally puts an end to Linda's lies by telling her what they know.
You're not going to come out on the end of this in a very good fashion because you're not telling the truth about what happened. We try to give you ample opportunity to tell what happened, but now you know that I know what happened.
After Bailey plays bad cop, Linda opens up and details regarding how it played out start to service and match up to what Mary Beth admitted to.
They gave the information freely because of the guilt that they felt. They really thought that they were helping their dad to, I guess, put him out of his misery at the time.
The only discrepancy between Linda and Mary Beth's confession is that both sisters blame the other as the mastermind behind the murder. It takes being arrested to get the sisters to hash it out after Marsh tore their relationship apart.
What's over him? It's over. We're dead.
One day shy of murdering their father 4 years ago, 63-year-old Mary Beth Tomaselli and 61-year-old Linda Roberts are brought up on murder charges and sent to prison. But even behind bars, the sibling rivalry will show itself once again. Will Mary Beth finally stand up to Linda in court, or will Linda continue to prove she's the alpha female of the two?
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's it's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-243-5651 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-243-5651. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-243-5651. 1-800-243-5651. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
Try it this Labor Day for only $14.95 plus free shipping. Visit Plexadermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Growing up, I had a serious issue with my relationship with food, so I joined Weight Watchers, Never Looks Back. I lost 70 pounds, and I learned to embrace every version of myself along the way.
With y'all, I get to decide when I get paid. My pay lets me get up to $500 of my pay when I need it. There's no interest, no credit checks, no mandatory fees. And that's why I chime. Join me at chime.com and get paid when you say.
On February 5th, 2019, Mary Beth Tomaselli and sister Linda Roberts are arrested for killing their own father nearly 4 years prior. The case becomes headline news around the country and brings major media attention to the small county.
Sheriff Gualtieri explains the grisly events to the press and even admits the sisters got away with the perfect murder until Linda opened up her mouth to Marsh in a bid to keep him around.
With the women behind bars, it was now to the detectives to mold the rest of the case to ensure a straightforward prosecution.
Pulling all records possible, Detective DeLeon and Bailey work the case while interviewing other people of interest they may need in court. Still deliberating if Mary Beth's daughter, Lauren, is involved, they bring her in for questioning. It becomes apparent she had no involvement as her mother gave her a sedative to sleep throughout the night.
Lauren's story matches that of Mary Beth's, and she's released without any charges placed against her.
Due to the circumstances behind the murder, in 2019, State Prosecutor Brian Naj opted out of seeking the death penalty for the sisters.
With Anthony's severe health concerns, the sisters' empathy towards his suffering, and no real reason for personal or financial gain, the prosecution agreed the murder wasn't intended to be malicious, but they still deserve to serve time for their actions.
But leave it to the dueling sisters to keep it interesting until the bitter end. In 2021, the sisters finally stand trial for the murder of Anthony Tomaselli.
Mary Beth possibly wanted revenge on her sister for taking her man, or maybe she was finally looking out for herself.
Mary Beth works with prosecutors in order to testify against her sister for a lesser sentence.
It would be to strengthen one sister's case over the other. So if the sister who is giving more evidence against her own sister, she's doing that to help get somebody convicted of the murder of the father. So she would be given a lighter sentence. She had the best evidence at the time to be able to talk about what her sister had done. So she did so in order to lessen her sentence.
Anthony Tomaselli was considered by friends and family to be a generous and loving man. Sadly, his life would end at the hands of the two daughters he raised.
And 6 years after murdering their father, Linda sentenced to 20 years, while Mary Beth's deal gives her 15 years in federal prison. But leave it to sibling rivalry, a love triangle, and loose lips to have the murderers finally caught.
City.